Hey guys, Ivan here with the Old School Labs, and in this video we're gonna start with something funny, with something interesting. Nothing too big, nothing too special, but I found this funny and interesting. I'm not sure what exactly is happening here, but Milos Sarcev posted this photo of himself, his legs, obviously you can see his legs on the left compared to somebody on the right, and he says, interesting photo I found on the net, on the internet, my legs after quadriceps tear and 2 surgeries. But I don't know who is right next to me, can anybody guess? And of course, everybody can pretty much notice this is Flex Lewis. So what Milos is saying is that he had a surgery, 2 surgeries, an injury before that, and still his legs looked much bigger, much fuller than those of the best 212 bodybuilder ever, 7 times Mr. Olympia and a future open bodybuilder in Mr. Olympia, of course, hopefully this year, Flex Lewis. And yeah, this was a long time ago, and this was probably like during the late 90s or the early 2000s, I'm not sure, but Flex was young. I think this photo was taken in about 2002, 2003, something like that, the early 2000s, and Flex is 37 right now, so that was almost 20 years ago. So basically Flex was in his teens, right? He was almost 20, somewhere between 17 and 20, something like that, I'm guessing. And of course, that's why Milos absolutely dwarfed him with his legs. Today it will be different, of course. Flex grew so much since this point. Flex is actually known for having really good legs, and people are saying that if he wanted, he could have had legs like Tom Platz, like he could have been a leg-dominant bodybuilder, but he decided not to train them for a couple of years for his upper body to match his legs, actually. So no, of course, there is no bad blood between these two guys. Of course, you know Milos. Everybody knows Milos. He's just joking with everybody. He's never too serious. He likes to joke like this, of course. It's all fun and games. And Flex also, he was never involved in any kind of drama online or anything like that. Of course, Flex was just a kid at the time, and Milos knows how much of a freak Flex is right now, and that's why he's posting this comparison, because he's telling us, look, I mean, at one point I was much bigger than the beast of a man, Flex Lewis. So, of course, it's all just fun and games. Milos is busting Flex's balls, and it's just fun, right? Flex is not taking this seriously, of course. And yeah, it was an interesting comparison to see that Milos absolutely dwarfed Flex at one point. But of course, today would be a different story. And actually, I'm just really curious to see Flex on stage, against the other open guys. That's gonna be amazing. That's gonna be interesting. Especially if you consider the fact that Flex was able to beat Hadi when Hadi was in 212. Surely Hadi was much bigger in the open division, but that's probably because he didn't have a weight cap and he didn't have to diet down too heavily. I'm pretty sure he just filled up properly, maybe he grew a little bit. And the same thing will go with Flex when he actually decides to do the open, hopefully this year. But what is going on with Hadi right now? Hadi Choopan seems to be retiring. There are rumors out there. Nick Strength and Power made a video about this. He translated Hadi's post that he made on Instagram, and it was basically him saying a goodbye to bodybuilding. But then some fan of Nick's and of Hadi's, of course, from Iran, talked to Nick and told him that Hadi is just really disappointed at the Iranian government, and they're kind of not supporting him right now. And also, they shut down his YouTube channel, and people from Iran can't watch it. Everybody else can, so if you guys want, you can subscribe to his channel on YouTube. But yeah, apparently Hadi is going through some trouble. I'm hoping that it's not too serious. It's not really he's retiring. I think I'm hoping, of course I don't know, but I think that he's probably just upset, and that's why he's saying stuff like that. I don't think he's gonna retire. He looks good. He's on his way up. As far as the public knows, he's healthy. He has no serious injuries. Why would he stop right now? He's close to even winning the Mr. Olympia maybe. So I don't think he's gonna stop. Yeah, he's going through some trouble. He went through a lot, with visa and everything. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna fix these problems, and we're gonna see him back on Mr. Olympia stage this year, because he is qualified already. Anyways, while we're hoping and believing that Hadi is not really retiring, we can watch a retired Dexter Jackson right here, training, posting new videos frequently, And you can see him, like, he lost 40 pounds, but he doesn't look small, guys. He looks really good. He looks big. Yeah, he looks a little bit flatter, maybe a little bit smaller, but when he pumps up his upper body, I mean, that first video was himself training legs. But when he's doing his upper body, back, or chest right here, you can see that he's not small. Like, he's still big. If he wanted, he could have came back, and I'm sure he could have won a pro show. Still, yes, I think so. But let's stop talking about the future and the past. Let's talk about what's going on right now. And bodybuilding is not exactly completely dead. There are some shows that are going to happen in about 9 weeks or so. And here is a photo, actually a video of, and there is also a photo of blessing Awodibu. So you can see that this guy is an absolute freak. He's really big. He's a genetic marvel. You can see him here when he was young, crazy genetics, and this is his back right now. Absolutely insane. And there is a set of photos. They're all pretty much the same. I don't know why he posted all of them, but it doesn't matter. They're a little bit different. The lighting is the same, the pose is the same, and you can see his conditioning at this point. And more importantly, the shape. This guy has really beautiful genetics, and as the time goes on, he starts to look better and better, year after year, even more aesthetic with time. Back maybe a couple of years ago, he was a beast. He was still really big, but he wasn't as matured, and when he would get conditioned for the stage, it wasn't some crazy super level of conditioning. So he kind of, compared to this, he looked like a bloated mess. Now he starts to flow really well. Of course, he was very aesthetic even back then, but now it's much better if you ask me. I find this much more impressive. If you compared it, you would not be able to see some huge differences. But when you look at his physique, I'm sure you want to say, wow, this is really beautiful bodybuilding, of course, massive physique. But back a couple of years ago, you wouldn't really be admiring his aesthetics. Now you can. Now you can do that. I do that. So I really like the shape and the flow of his entire physique. It all just goes well together. And that's going to be his strength, the flow. And I feel like that's something that is lost in bodybuilding. It's rare to see it. This guy is one of the few bodybuilders that actually have a flow, right? Everybody else is just complete, massive kind of conditioned, sometimes super conditioned, but it just doesn't really flow well. There is no symmetry, no balance, no interesting, cool looking physiques. You know what I'm saying? And this is something that we can actually see with blessing. Another example of a interesting and well-flowing physique is Patrick Moore. That's something that you don't see every day. When we saw him in 2019 on stage when he was shredded, it was really a sight to be seen. Everybody talked about him. He took 10th place, and some people had him even higher than that for his first year at the Mr. Olympia because he was so special. But hey, just being special and having nice flow isn't enough. If you want to be a top contender, you need to get bigger. And I've been watching Patrick lately. I've been posting photos and videos of him, and I was thinking, well, he isn't really trying that hard. I don't know. He isn't really growing super fast. But then lately he looks bigger, right? He seems to be growing finally. He was probably taking it easy, like just training very hard and eating a lot, but not doing a lot of gear. And now he's probably pushing it even furthermore with gear and probably with more food. I don't know. I don't think he's training any harder or that he was training less hard before. I'm sure that's all top notch, but now he's doing something else, I'm sure. It's not just the time that it took for him to grow this much. I'm guessing he's pushing it right now. Maybe he just started dieting for a show and started using some other drugs like Trembolone, and that's why he looks bigger, but maybe he's just pushing it because I noticed this approach. I'm not saying this is the case right here, but many bodybuilders are doing it this way. Throughout the majority of the off-season, they're trying to stay kind of lean, and then pretty lean, of course. They always stay lean. They don't really gain fat, but they are not pushing it to the max throughout the whole off-season. But that final part of the off-season, right before they start cutting, maybe like the last 6 weeks, 8 weeks, that's where they start pushing it with food and drugs really hard, and then they start cutting. They don't want to get fat, a little bit more than they want to before they need to start cutting. So that last final phase of the off-season is when they push the hardest. Maybe that's what Patrick is doing right now. Maybe he's just pushing it, in the off-season, and then after that, he's going to start cutting. Maybe not. Maybe it's something else. Maybe he just started cutting, and that's why he looks bigger, but he's not exactly. But this is just an approach that many bodybuilders take. Thought you might find this interesting. And we also have an update of 2020 Arnold Classic 5th place finisher Sergio Oliva Jr., who is growing. I think a lot of people underestimate him. They don't know that he was actually 280 on the stage, and he's not really that tall. So this guy is really big, and he still needs to fill out his frame. He has a really large frame. Once that happens, it's gonna be hard to beat him. And he's on a good path to actually fulfilling his full potential. This is a photo that he posted, and he looks really good. Like, he looks really big and really lean. So he's probably, I don't know when he's competing, but again, maybe he's just in the off season trying to stay lean, and now he's gonna start really pushing it and really trying to grow, and then after that he's gonna start cutting, or maybe he already started cutting. I don't know. I don't think he announced any shows, but if you guys know, let me know down below. Anyways, this is his physique update right now. He looks absolutely outstanding. I can't wait to see this guy actually fulfill his full potential. I don't think he has done that. I think he has a lot more to do still. 5th place at the Arnold, that was amazing, but 280 and still not being exactly super big on the stage, that kind of means that he has a big frame and he still needs to fill it up a little bit more. I hope he can do it. It's going to be tough, but if he can do it, that's going to be an unstoppable package. Alright, and for the end, I have a treat for you. While I was making this video, I checked my Instagram and I saw something interesting, thankfully, and you will see what happened just in a moment. So this is Justin Rodriguez. This is him right now. He's prepping for New York Pro. He intends to win it. He was able to beat Nick Walker. Now Nick has probably progressed. It's going to be tough to beat him again. We'll see what's going to happen. Blessing Awodibu also thinks he's going to win it. There are other guys like Hassan Mustafa coming into the show, Mohammed Shaban as well, and the others. But this is an interesting post because Pies and Rise, this is an Instagram page about bodybuilding. It's a really popular one. If you don't follow it and you're a fan of bodybuilding, you should. And they posted this photo of Nick Walker versus Justin Rodriguez at their last show they did. I think it was Chicago Pro. And here you can see a comment of Blessing Awodibu right down below, laughing. And then Justin actually replying to him. Now this is a new kind of drama. Justin versus Blessing. I didn't see this. I saw only Nick versus Blessing. Now Justin is in as well. So Justin replies, he says, "We're gonna make a good show for everyone." Hell yeah. That was probably before Blessing posted this bunch of smileys, like he's laughing his face off. And Justin adds, he tags Nick Walker and he says, the other guy, well, he's going to look how real bodybuilders make a good competition. So he's saying that Blessing is not really a real bodybuilder and he's gonna just watch and witness what Justin and Nick are gonna actually do at this show. So whatever you guys think about this comment of Justin and this comment of Blessing, I thought it was hilarious. Whatever you guys think, tell me down below in the comment section. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and please subscribe for more videos like this. All the best, guys, and keep it old school.